From a consumer standpoint, what is a fiduciary? According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, a fiduciary is someone who manages. In other words, a fiduciary is an appointed position of management. In other words, a trustee. What do they manage? Money or property. If you have appointed, assigned, designated a third party for the purpose of managing property, what it simply means is their interest in that property that they're managing has a confine of very limited control. The one who you have appointed to manage any property does not own the property, but they control it. From the standpoint of consumerism, a fiduciary is someone who manages money or property. A fiduciary is someone who controls something else readily owned by someone else or something else. When you are named a fiduciary and accept the role, meaning someone else has to designate, appoint, or elect you into that role. If it's elected, you're speaking about polity as far as the interest of the one who is governed, such as the public. They call it, quote, government. When you're speaking about appointments, you're speaking about private administration of things, whereby other people interface with that thing, aka money or property, but they don't necessarily have an interest in it, such as, say, the administration of any type of government itself. Like your governors, or in some cases, some acting judges that will be part of a panel that decides caseloads. So you see that caseloads deals with the people itself, but it's directly related to the administration of that courthouse to deal with caseload that the people are bringing in. Federal cases, if someone files too many cases within such a short period of time, a panel comes together to say, hey, we need to bar this man or woman or this entity from filing cases because it is just too much, especially if it's considered frivolous. For instance, the executive committee on a federal level, at its meeting November 6, 2024, the executive committee reviewed the dockets filing made by so-and-so from the above listed cases. They listed all the different cases, redact. After review, it is the judgment of the executive committee that reasonable and necessary restraints must be imposed upon, they put the name of the party, ability to file new civil cases in district pro se. Cases in existence prior to the entry of this order are not affected by the order and shall proceed as usual. So this executive committee relates to a case that the people file, but nonetheless, they don't make a determination of it. So this executive committee members are appointed rather than elected. Similarly positioned when it comes to money matters or interest in ownership of something, they can be appointed. That executive committees, for instance, when the members are appointed, you and I in the public had no idea how they did so, except for the names that we see that sign it, or if they disclose it on their website. The same applies with trust when you appoint certain members for certain purposes, administratively, aka privately. Public aspect of fiduciary is election, where there's a direct interface in the consent of the governed by the one doing the government. And then there's designate, which is per contractual basis, meaning it's fleeting. Think of it as a type of independent contractor based on short-term contracts that can either last just for 1 day or 1 month or 1 year, whereas appointment or election usually lasts longer than that. Very important details. What is fiduciary as far as consumer matters related? A fiduciary is someone who manages money or property for someone else, a trustee position. That trustee position comes in form of election, appointment, or designation, as aforementioned. When you are named a fiduciary and accept the role, meaning there's a trust relationship of someone granting you that position so that you could play a role for someone else to benefit, aka a trust is involved. When you are named the fiduciary and accept the role, you must, by law, this by law relates to one of the three dichotomies. If it's by election, well, there are laws associated with that, starting with the foundation, which is the Constitution of the United States Constitution of the state of Massachusetts, Constitution of the state of so-and-so. If it's by appointment, it is based on the bylaws of that entity doing the appointment, for instance, with the executive committee. If it is by designation, the law that governs that designation will be the, well, as it says, bylaw of that entity, such as trust minutes. When you are named a fiduciary and accept the role, you must, by law, manage the person's money and property for their benefit, not yours. That is the general perspective when it comes to consumer and the term fiduciary. Now let's go on a little bit further. The complete video has been posted on the Patreon page. Until next time, take care. Best of luck.